Good morning. It's Friday, May 31st, and I read this morning that the Biden campaign is calibrating a more aggressive strategy to reach the American voters because of Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominees have screwed this country up. And Joe Biden has slammed his opponent, that would be Donald Trump, at a rally in Philadelphia the other day, and Biden has promised that he would appoint progressives to the Supreme Court if he's elected for a second term. And boy, do we need progressives on that Supreme Court. I'm not against conservatives. They have a methodology, a philosophy that they believe in, and I don't have a problem with that. But when they overreact in such a way that they destroy valuable systems that have been in our country for years. And I am talking about overturning Roe versus Wade, for instance. There was no reason to do that. That was a law that 75% of the women were in favor of. And we, as people, should not be interfering in the lives of many others if they feel the need to take care of themselves for whatever reason. You may disapprove, you may disagree, but that doesn't mean they should have that privilege. In any event, Biden promised the black voters on Wednesday that he would appoint progressives to the U.S. Supreme Court if he was elected for a second term, and suggesting that he expects vacancies on the High Court over the next 4 years. I don't know if he can be so confident in that when you look at these guys who have been there for 20 years and are reaching their 70s and some of them are going to be close to 80, and they're hanging on to their jobs for dear life, right? But he's assuming that as the next president, he would get a couple of vacancies that he could use to put progressives on the court. And he says if he's able to change the shape of the court when some of these conservatives retire, and he would like the court to be progressive as it has been in the past. And he doesn't think that that will change the lives of many people. But he feels that will be good for the country. This is as explicit a warning as Biden could offer about the stakes in the upcoming election. Now, appointments to the Supreme Court is a big deal. It affects the nation in ways that we can't even imagine. And if you look at the situation in the Supreme Court right now, there was actions to be taken in the trials of ex-President Trump, and how the Supreme Court has reacted and not doing anything that they should be doing quickly, taking their time. In my mind, that is a clear indication that the members of the Supreme Court are not impartial as it sits right now. And remember, this Supreme Court, like many other Supreme Courts in the past, has no code of ethics. And that has come up several times. And Justice Roberts has made comments about looking into the code of ethics. But he hasn't done anything about it. So Biden is putting out a warning to the members of the court. because several of them are entering their 70s. Clarence Thomas is 75. Sam Alito is 74. And those guys have been hanging around a long time. They were appointed by Republican presidents. And Sonia Sotomayor, who was a liberal and was nominated by President Obama, she turns 70 next month. I don't know if Joe Biden is waiting for Sotomayor to disappear from the court, but she's among those who could. So Biden is expressing his desire that many of these justices take a hike, because that would be a key opportunity for either Biden, who has named one justice to the Supreme Court, or his rival, Republican rival Donald Trump, who named 3 during his 4-year term. And one of those was a robbery because he cheated. Mitch McConnell cheated Merrick Garland out of his Supreme Court nomination. He chose to wait 8 months to see what was going to happen in the 2016 election. And he got his wish. He got Donald Trump. And then, because he got Donald Trump, court ends up with Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch, staunch conservatives, far right-wing conservatives in my mind. None of them have shown any propensity to lean a little left on occasion. And of course, Donald Trump is reminding everybody of his Supreme Court appointments. And he has said they are gold. He has said he would be glad to nominate 3 more members to the Supreme Court. Wouldn't that be great for this great nation? 6 members on the Supreme Court like Donald Trump. What a frightening thought. You know what's even more amusing about this entire situation? We have 2 altacakas running for the president. Both of them older than anybody on the Supreme Court. So what's wrong with this country? Where are all the young people? There's something wrong with our system when we allow people to grow as old as they do as members of Congress and members of the Supreme Court. There ought to be some methodology in place that forces people to retire at a certain age. Now, I'm not saying that elderly people can't do the job. I'm just saying that when we have too many elderly people, that's a problem. So I leave you with that this morning. Have a great day. Bye.